What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Dugas, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm going to preview and predict Saturday's SEC championship game showdown between the #1 Alabama Crimson Tide and the #4 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, man. Obviously, man, this a big game, yo. Obviously, it's a big game for a lot of reasons because with the new college football playoff rankings, basically shows me is that if Georgia win this game, Georgia gonna get in there. You know what I'm saying? If Georgia win this game, Georgia and Alabama will be in the playoff again. Because Alabama isn't like let's get it out the way. Alabama is in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, regardless of what happened. And for you Alabama fans, I just want to make it clear before I go on more into this video, I don't like y'all. I can't stand y'all. I hate the fact that y'all playing in this game and my LSU Tigers not. I just want to make that very clear before I go on into this video, man. But since we understand each other, you know, I could go on to talking about this game, man. But yeah, man, let's make it clear, man. Like, I don't care if Georgia beat Alabama 72-0. Alabama will be in the college football playoff once again. And they're the only team, you know what I'm saying, in college football that got to play in this 4-game tournament every year since it started. You know what I'm saying? Every year since it started in the 2014-2015 season. So, but it's big for Georgia, man, because now, like I said, if they win, they in the playoff. You know what I'm saying? With their ranking by them being #4, and obviously beating #1 Alabama gonna only help that. Being SEC champs and beating #1 Alabama gonna only increase it, and they already at #4. You know what I'm saying? So this is a huge game for the Georgia Bulldogs, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, as far as the matchup, bro, you know, this is a rematch, obviously, of last year's national championship game in the same building. You know, Georgia jumped out to like, what, a 13-0 lead at halftime, man. Then Nick Saban did the unthinkable. He pulled out a struggling Jalen Hurts, who took him to a national championship the year before in a you know, a really good season, you know what I'm saying, the following year into the playoff, and benched them at halftime for, I don't know, some guy named Tua, who right now is basically didn't do nothing but lead the team back from 13-0. The game went into overtime, threw a game-winning touchdown to Devontae Smith in overtime, a Louisiana native, by the way. And come back this year and basically, in my opinion and in the opinion of most people, is the Heisman Trophy favorite going into this game. And if he plays really well in this game, which most people expect him to do, he should win the Heisman Trophy, you know? Yeah, man, so it's a big game. It's a rematch. You know, Georgia, they lost a lot of people. You know, they lost Roquan Smith from that game. You know, they lost Bellamy. You know, they lost Nick Chubb. They lost Sony Michel. You know, yeah, man, they lost a few players, man. Really, really key players that was members of that team last year. But this year, you know, they got a solid team, man. You know, they got Holyfield back there running the ball, running over people. You know, Swift is still out there with his just electrifying speed. You know, they got their quarterback, Jake Fromm, back, who is very experienced, you know, from going to a national championship game last year. You know, they got their receiver back, Ridley. You know, yeah, man, they got some good players, man. They're a very talented and well-coached team, man. You know, and that's not also counting, you know, they still got an ace in the hole, a true freshman quarterback, Justin Fields, who was the #1 recruit in the whole country, you know what I'm saying, coming into this season, that they could throw out there with some little wildcat or just let them, whatever, they could use them, you know what I'm saying? Defensively, they got the shutdown corner Baker out there, you know, and their defense, besides their game against my LSU Tigers, has been pretty stout this season, you know. So Georgia not a pushover. But, like I said, I can't stand Alabama, but man, this Alabama team, man, is like any other, man. Like I've mentioned Tua and just his pinpoint accuracy, you know, which he reminds me so much of Russell Wilson with a little more, with maybe not as much mobility, but more accuracy. You know what I'm saying? He seems like a solid guy and a good leader, man. Not to mention, man, if you look at the people that he has at his arsenal, man. You know, he has Devontae Smith, even though he a little banged up, you know, he has Judy. He has Ruggs. He has Waddle with this electrifying speed. He has Irv Smith, Louisiana native. You know, he has Damian Harris in the backfield. He has Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? He has Najee Harris. He has a top tier offensive line. Not to mention, he has arguably the greatest coach in college football history in Nick Saban. Oh, by the way, they still play defense. You know, public service announcement, they still play defense. Like, maybe their defense ain't as dominant as it was in the past, but they still play defense, you know. Ironically, they got two corners who basically should be at LSU right now, Patrick Surtain Jr., who was favored to land him all the way until signing day, and Savion Smith, who was on our campus but kept getting into trouble, and we had to kick him off the team. You know, they got Dylan Moses, Louisiana native. They got Isaiah Ruggs, Louisiana native. You know, that's out there doing their thing, man. Like, they still play defense, man. They have a top offense and a top defense, man. This is the most complete Alabama football team, man, that Nick Saban has ever had, man. Like I said, the thing with Alabama where you could have get them before was if you had a great quarterback and you could have put up points, you could have get them because their offense really, unless they was just running the ball at you, their offense wouldn't really put up points like that. Now, man, they either gonna blow you out or they could beat you in the shootout now, which is unbelievable, man. And I honestly feel like, you know, Georgia, or unless maybe if Ohio State get in there, to me, they the only two teams that I think got a small shot at knocking off Alabama. Georgia, just from the fact they played them last year, they got motivation from losing that championship game. You know, like, they got talent. So, you know, I give them a fighter's chance, which leads to my prediction, though, man. I think this game going to be kind of close, man. You know, I think Georgia going to really fight hard, man. You know, the experience of Jake Fromm is going to keep him in this game. You know, the motivation of getting into a playoff, of losing to these same guys in the championship game in the same building, I think will motivate the Bulldogs. But at the end of the day, man, I like Alabama in this game, man, 35-20. I think Alabama wins this game 35-20, and therefore Alabama goes into the college football playoff as undefeated SEC champs, #1 team in the country, and the prohibited favorite to win the national championship again, man. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, give me a subscribe, man. I'm gonna have NCAA football content, man, throughout the season, man. Y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.